everyone, and welcome to the 22nd episode in our AI and You podcast series. Today is Monday, December 7th, 2020, and I'm your host, Vicar Saidi. I'm a computer scientist and engineer, a lecturer, and a consultant. I'm also the author of several books. My most recent book is about artificial intelligence and is titled The Genome Affair. The Genome Affair is a work of speculative fiction. It examines what the world might be like if some of the more extraordinary capabilities forecast to be realized in AI over the next 20 to 30 years were actually realized today. Given the growing list of frightening existential threats humankind now faces, the book pays particular attention to the impact AI is expected to have on world affairs. The book is available in ebook format for those who prefer to read on a digital device, but it's also available in a high-quality paperback edition. The Genome Affair is available on Amazon, so I hope you'll take the time to read it and to leave a review. Book reviews are very helpful for writers. I'm available to give talks on artificial intelligence and its related technologies, and on the impact AI is expected to have, or is already having, on our world. If you'd like to get in touch with me to arrange a web-based event or consulting meeting with your company or organization, you can find my contact info in the podcast notes below. And now, on to today's podcast. In our last podcast, episode 21, I spoke about how artificial intelligence is playing a remarkable role in improving outcomes for couples submitting to in vitro fertilization, or IVF. In today's podcast, episode 22, I'll be talking about the complex and nuanced relationship between artificial intelligence and human intelligence. Let's get started. Most people having some familiarity with artificial intelligence will define AI as an attempt to simulate human intelligence in a machine. They will often cite Alan Turing's invention, the Turing machine, or bomb, that successfully broke Germany's Enigma code during World War II. In slightly more specific terms, artificial intelligence is essentially the desire to emulate, in inorganic silicon systems, the biochemical processes that naturally occur in carbon-based organisms such as the human brain. This concept is quite clear to most people, but what is less clear is the answer to the question, what is human intelligence? The simplest answer is that human intelligence is the ability to understand and perform a wide variety of relatively complex tasks very well. For example, it's not uncommon for one human being to be able to read and write, to lecture students on computer science in an online classroom, to pilot a small single-engine plane on weekends, to swim before their job at a tech company where they work as a computer programmer, to participate in amateur ballroom dance competitions on Wednesday evenings during the autumn, to play a musical instrument in a church or community band, and to coach an elementary school baseball team in spring. Now let's consider a slightly more complex definition of human intelligence. Let's start with a large volume of information and attempt to process it. This processing involves reading, reflecting, synthesizing what we learn with other information we may already know or are concurrently studying, then writing and iterating these steps until we reach some deeper understanding or insight. The ability to process information in this manner is a form of intelligence unique to humans, and it normally culminates in the acquisition or development of new knowledge. Further, through thoughtful trial and error, if we learn to apply this knowledge in a situation such that we can generate positive outcomes or prevent negative outcomes, this ability is what we often refer to as wisdom. Knowing how to apply knowledge in differing circumstances and affecting outcomes is also intelligence. Let's continue down this path a bit longer. Some of us are left-brained and some are right-brained in our intelligence. Some may have greater analytical ability than others, while some may demonstrate greater artistic ability. Some amongst us may demonstrate both, and we often refer to these people as polymaths. Leonardo da Vinci was one of history's most noteworthy polymaths. Some of us are very rational and can remain so in extremely trying circumstances, while others amongst us can quickly become emotional or impulsive. Thus, some humans are driven by the front of the brain, the cortex, while others are driven by their limbic system, or mammalian brain, the central portion of our brain that governs impulses and emotions. Introducing even more complexity into this model, our regulatory brain, our reptilian brain, may also play a nuanced role in how we think or process information in certain stressful circumstances, and this provides yet more nuance into the definition of intelligence. Finally, we are beginning to accept that there are 8 or perhaps 10 or even 12 different types of intelligence. For example, the person who is considered highly intelligent because they performed very well on a standardized exam and therefore were accepted into a top university or department within a company, may perform very poorly when placed in the cockpit of a fighter jet and asked to engage in a dogfight over enemy territory. The same individual is unlikely to be able to command a 1,000-soldier battalion during an invasion on foreign soil, or spend 6 months in a nuclear submarine at the bottom of the sea collecting intelligence. They may also struggle terribly when asked to compose a symphony, to write literature, or to produce a fresco, painting, or sculpture. These attributes, as is increasingly becoming clear, are all various dimensions of human intelligence. Often society will identify certain individuals as intelligent because their particular variety or attributes of intelligence can be rapidly monetized in the markets. But this is something that varies with the age in which we live. Although people with keen quantitative abilities are highly valued today, since they can earn large salaries as quantitative analysts or data scientists, in the past, society had little use for such skills, and so they probably didn't consider these people as highly intelligent. In the future, with the increasing capabilities of algorithms and computer software and hardware, we may once again have little value for today's highly valued quantitative skills, and are unlikely to consider these people as intelligent, since AI will undoubtedly outperform them to an exponential degree. Returning to our original question of what is human intelligence, we can now see that it's a very complex and nuanced matter. As such, we need to think carefully when we simply state that artificial intelligence is a simulation of organic human intelligence in inorganic silicon-based systems. In reality, the answer is far more complex, and the implications for artificial intelligence and humankind will depend on our understanding and implementation of human intelligence in future AI agents. Thank you for spending some time with me. I'm trying to follow the TED Talk format, and so I'm keeping these podcasts under 20 minutes. Let me know what you think. I hope you'll find these insights into artificial intelligence helpful, and I hope you'll read my new book, The Genome Affair. It's on Amazon. Until next time then, this has been the AI and You podcast with author Vicar Saidi.